Hey, house guests. Welcome to today's Big Brother 26 updates and spoilers. I forgot to give Bowie his treat. We can't go on without this. Our house guest today is Leslie Zaragoza Taylor. Leslie, thank you so much for the support over the years. Oh, here you go. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate you so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guest of the day, like Leslie, check out our Patreon link in the description below. Ooh, okay. Yes, you got your treat, Mr. Good Boy. And while you're down in the description, you'll also see our link for Paramount Plus if you're interested in checking out the live feeds. And if you do use our link, it really helps us out. So we appreciate that. All right, it is Tuesday. Tongues out Tuesday. When we left off yesterday, sorry. When we left off yesterday, the house guests were waiting for the POV ceremony. Chemo and Rubina were on the block. Angela won the veto. Leah won the janky veto. And the way this works, Leah has to play in another little competition to determine if she's even allowed to use her janky POV. So if she wins that competition, I think she has the choice. I saw some people saying maybe it was like an automatic she has to use it, but I think she still had a choice. We'll get confirmation on that on tomorrow night's episode. But yeah, once her veto situation is resolved, then Angela chooses whether or not she will use her veto. So Angela and Leah, as we discussed yesterday, had all of their one-on-one conversations. So it was double the one-on-ones, double the fun. And they seemed to come to a decision of what they wanted to do with these two potential vetoes. So they decided Leah does not want to use her janky POV. Oh, you're gonna have the option to use two POVs and you're not? We'll get to that. But Angela did want to use her veto on Chemo. Mend some fences with him because she has now been caught not once, but twice promising that she was going to vote to keep him, and then she didn't do it. She was on the wrong side of the vote. So she wants to make things right with him and use this veto on him. So Leah is planning to put up T-Core in Chemo's place, and both Angela and Leah would love to take out T-Core this week. They'd love for her to be the target, but they feel like the votes probably would not be there, so they would be okay with Rubina leaving. But why not use both POVs? Because then you could put up, say, Chelsea next to T-Core. That's going to guarantee a huge threat to win this game. Will be going either Chelsea or T-Core. But Leah doesn't want to do that. She does not want to put up somebody from a different trio because she doesn't want both trios pissed at her. So Leah let T-Core know that if Angela does use her veto, Leah was trying to play it off like she didn't know what Angela was going to do. So she told T-Core if Angela uses her veto, there is a good chance that T-Core would be the replacement nominee. And T-Core barely pushed back against this. I don't know if she just didn't think it was actually going to happen, or she just assumes she's going to be safe up on the block next to Rubina. I don't know, but she really did not push back against it much at all. I don't think she realized that she would actually be in some trouble here because we know, and we talked about this yesterday, Mackenzie and Angela both want to vote T-Core out, and they would only need one more vote to make it happen because there are only 5 people voting this week. And Mackenzie seems to think that she can get Cam. We'll see. Cam was involved in some of his own drama, right? We talked about this yesterday as well. Chelsea caught him cuddling up with Mackenzie again. She made a big scene of moving her cot to the other side of the backyard, which was super awkward. So we're keeping an eye on that situation as well. All right, so into the new stuff, finally. The POV ceremony did not happen until the evening because they had to wait for the right lighting. It's hard to shoot stuff like this when you're outside, especially if you're trying to keep the continuity. So I think it was just easier for them to do it after the sun went down. But there was not much going on yesterday leading up to that POV ceremony. Some of the more memorable things, Angela was cradling a sloth plushie. It was actually a mother sloth with a baby sloth, and she was cradling it like a baby and crying. As one does, I guess. It felt very dystopian. It was surreal to see. I think she was crying because she was thinking about her grandkids, but it was just What are they putting these people through, keeping them outside all week? We also saw Rubina cutting up some Janky World t-shirts to make a new one for herself. Fun. Bowie, what do you have? Sorry, guys. I just got to take this from him real quick. I can't have you eating that right now, baby. No. No. Bowie. Come on. Sorry. It has plastic, and I don't want him eating that. Okay. Baby, pick out a different toy. Here. How about this? All right, we'll see. Something tells me that's not going to be enough for him. But Rubina and T-Core also spent a lot of time yesterday writing a new song, choreographing a dance to go with that song. And this was supposed to be a gift for Chemo's birthday, which is today, Tuesday. So happy birthday to Chemo. Oh my God, we have Lammy over here too. She wants to join in on the fun. Rubina and T-Core could have spent all of that time trying to get Leah to nominate someone else or to convince her to use her janky POV as well so that maybe somebody from a different group could go up on the block. But no, they decided instead they were going to waste time and write a little song. They had all day. It's just too much. So T-Core and Rubina did have one game chat with each other before the ceremony. And T-Core said, I'm a little scared because people are mean. So she clarifies not mean, but like mean in this game. It sounds to me like T-Core thinks that it would be mean for someone to nominate her. Like it's this personal attack and not, hey, you haven't been up on the block this whole entire season and you're potentially going to win this whole entire thing. But she says it would be mean. I don't know. But Rubina tells her it's going to be okay. She really hopes that Leah is going to take what T-Core said into consideration, which is, what did T-Core say? I mean, she made her half-hearted push for the Girls Alliance, which T-Core and Rubina only really bring up when they feel like maybe they're in trouble, right? And they were really pushing it when they felt like Chemo would be going, but yeah, I mean, there's that. She kind of pushed for maybe Cam to go up because he's a stronger physical competitor. But she didn't really have much of an argument. So Rubina's saying it just wouldn't make sense strategically for Leah to put up T-Core. And T-Core's like, I mean, it does kind of make sense if her goal is to break up this trio because it would guarantee that one of them would go. And Bowie, why do you pick the loudest toys to play with right now, baby? Sorry, guys. But yeah, Rubina is saying it's not a smart move jury-wise. Oh my God. You just know these three trio members are going to be the most bitter jurors we've seen in a while. I guess they just figure people are not allowed to put them on the block. They just have to let them get to the final three, and that's it. It's just too much. So T-Core brings up during her HOH week, people were really pushing for her to put Leah up on the block, and she didn't. So that means that Leah should not put her up. But T-Core says, all that aside, she wants to spend the next day focused on Chemo and Rubina, but especially on Chemo because it is his birthday. And she'll feel a little more relieved when they know for sure what's going to be happening. But I mean, Leah pretty much told you what's happening. So the feeds do go down for the POV ceremony. It all goes according to plan. Leah did not use the janky POV. I'm pretty sure she lost the competition, so she didn't even have the option to use it. I don't think she was trying very hard. It sounded like maybe it was one of those carnival games where you have to knock down the bottles. That's what it seems like it was, but I don't know for sure. So, are you done, sir? Good boy. So, yeah, she did not use the janky POV. Angela did use her veto on Chemo, and Leah put up T-Core in his place. So we've got T-Core versus Rubina up on the block. And with T-Core going up, Leah is now the only person left this season who has not been nominated yet. Oh my goodness. I never would have called that going into the season. But when the feeds came back after the ceremony, we have Angela, Leah, and Mackenzie all chatting. And Leah is still really nervous about T-Core potentially winning HOH next week and nominating her along with Angela. And Leah feels like she would be leaving if she was up next to Angela. There's a good chance of that. But Angela is saying she would like to vote T-Court out this week. She doesn't even want to give her the chance to win HOH, but she doesn't know if the votes are there to make it happen. So Mackenzie lets her know she would also like to vote out T-Court this week. And Angela's saying Rubina wakes up. She's so happy every day. It seems like she wants to be there more than T-Core. She says they're both wonderful ladies. They're wonderful. But she feels like Rubina really wants this more than T-Core does. And she believes Rubina when she says she wants to go to the end with all women. If she had the option to choose between Chemo or one of these women that she's not actually aligned with, she's choosing Chemo. But okay. So they realize if Angela and Mackenzie are on board with this, they only need one more vote, right? And they feel like Cam is the swing vote this week because they figure Chelsea and Chemo probably going to be wanting T-Core to stay. Obviously, Angela and Mackenzie want Rubina to stay, so Cam is left in the middle. Interesting. Leah was feeling really guilty about putting T-Core up on the block, and Angela was telling her, you don't need to feel bad about breaking up the trio. They have made it so far together. They've got a beautiful friendship out of this. And she says somebody had to do it. Anybody else in Leah's position would have done the same. So Leah says, also, if this trio is claiming that they would not put her up on the block, they're lying. Yeah, I mean, they had all pretty much agreed if anybody from the trio won HOH, they were going to put Leah up on the block. So it's true. Bowie, what do you have now? Ugh, he just kills. I just don't want him eating any of that. So Leah also brings up no one felt bad alienating them earlier in the game. She's felt excluded before. So, now T-Core is on the block. Basically deal with it, right? She just really is paranoid about T-Core staying and winning the next HOH. And Angela's like, no, Mackenzie and I are going to be fighting for HOH. We're going to be fighting for you. Angela says, I'm going to do everything in my power to protect you two girls. I just love you girls. And she says, I used the veto because I just wanted to right my wrongs with Chemo. And Mackenzie's like, it's cool. We get it. Like, you don't have to explain. It's totally fine. I mean, they've all used the veto in interesting ways this season. So, Meanwhile, Cam and Chelsea are hashing things out. Oh boy. Chelsea says it feels like Cam is just toying with all of the women to get what he wants. And she says that really bothers her. Oh, Cam says they're all mean as heck to him. He always feels like he's the butt of all of their jokes. He feels like he can never win with them. They're always on Chelsea's side, which I would agree with. It does seem like most of the time when it's Cam versus Chelsea, everybody flocks to Chelsea. I mean, we saw that clear as day when Chelsea moved her cot away from everybody else. So, and everybody followed her. So I see what Cam's saying here. Also, how many times have we heard Chelsea talk about how disgusting Cam is on like a hygiene level? I gotta say, if I were Cam, that would not endear me to Chelsea. But anyway, Cam says it's just so funny for everyone to shit on me every day, and I just have to take it. And if I do get in my feelings about it, you guys just say that I'm throwing a temper tantrum. So I gotta kind of like pack that away. So Chelsea's like, oh, why didn't you just communicate that to us? A lot of these problems could have been solved with communication from Chelsea's end as well. But she's like, why don't you just stop? Why don't you say like, stop, you're hurting my feelings. So Cam is like, well, then you guys are going to say that I can't take a joke. And he admits like it is funny sometimes, but sometimes it feels really over the top. And he's like, I'm just trying to fit in here. So Cam then says he feels like he doesn't have anyone. And Chelsea's like, hold up. You have Mackenzie, who you've been all over. You have Leah, who you've continuously been all over. Oh, and she's like, you can't say that you don't have people. So Cam is like, okay, but like then women naturally stick together. Again, he feels like people take Chelsea's side over his. And he tells her, I want you to know, I have never gone against you in this game. I have never talked badly about you in this game. He says, I just have to survive differently in this game than you do, but you have to trust that you are the only person that I am protecting in this game. And I mean, he has stayed true to her pretty much this whole time, right? I'm trying to think of a time when he went against her, and maybe I'm just really tired and don't remember, but like, I don't remember any time he went against her with like a vote or anything. I do remember when she flipped her vote to keep chemo and didn't tell him about it, and he was pretty upset about that. But yeah, these two seem to be getting back on the right track. They're hugging. Chelsea's apologizing about making Cam the butt of so many jokes, and it seems like everything's great. But then Cam calls Chelsea the jealous type. Ah! I mean, is he wrong though? She says that's the last thing that she is. Girl, come on. She says, I just know my worth. And she says, this isn't even like jealousy on a personal level because that's over and done with. I'm sorry, but if Cam told Chelsea that he wanted to be in like a romantic situation with her, she would immediately be like, yes, of course, I love you. Let's get married. But she's saying, I get upset with you on a game level because you hop from woman to woman. It looks bad. People pick up on it. And what you do in this game is going to affect me. So she says that's why she gets upset. But I think it's more than that. Just saying. I guess they're like kind of better now. It almost feels like, though, they took like 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. I don't know. But they kind of talk through things until that jealousy comment. Yeah. Anyway, she was still crabbing about him later on, so they're not 100%. But a little later, Mackenzie chats with Rubina. They are both crying, and Rubina says, I understand why Leah did what she did, but I just don't know if it was the best move strategically. So Rubina says, I don't want to go home with 0 votes. She really does not want that to happen. But she says it's hard because she is up against T-Core right now. Obviously, they've been very close. And it sounds like Mackenzie tells her, I just need one more vote. Because she's like, it's me, it's Angela. I just need one more vote. And I am trying to get that for you. So Rubina is telling Mackenzie, you don't have to do all that. She's trying to help you out. But she says, I don't want to give up. I don't want to be a quitter, but it is hard to do this against someone you love. Does she not love chemo? She seemed fine with chemo potentially leaving this week. T-Core and Rubina were both like, all right, he's gone. Let's go to the end with the women. But now that it's Rubina and T-Core on the block, all of a sudden it's like a travesty. I don't know. But Rubina says maybe I'm just not cut out for this game. Maybe not. We'll get there. So Mackenzie says it's just getting to that point in this game. It's getting tough. You got to say goodbye to people that you're close with. It sucks. And then I had to move on from that conversation because they both started doing a lot of the baby talks, and I just check, please. I can't. It's too much. So later, Chemo, T-Core, Rubina, they're up. They're talking crap. They really think that Leah made a dumb move here. They feel like she's trying to just get dragged to the end by the other trio. Dragged, though? She's now won 2 vetoes in an HOH. Like, she's making some moves here. But T-Core says, out of everybody, their trio and Chelsea all have the best social games. And she says Leah does not have one of the best social games, even though she may think she does. Okay. If you say so. Chemo, supposedly a super fan, says that they are the first trio to make it to jury. That is so far from the truth. Like, there have been so many other trios that have made it to the jury, have made it even further than that. But sure. Have you ever watched the show? I'm starting to wonder if anybody from this season is actually like a fan of the show. How do you think you're the first? Whatever. But after Chemo goes to bed, Rubina and T-Core are chatting alone, and they're going on and on about how they don't respect Leah's gameplay. She's like the worst person ever. And T-Core is saying Leah wouldn't even be here anymore without her. Oh my God. And T-Core's reasoning behind this is, again, everyone was pushing for Leah to go on the block when T-Core was HOH, but she didn't do it. She didn't put Leah up. So now all of a sudden, Leah owes her entire game to T-Core. And T-Core's like, I should have nominated Leah when I was HOH. I should have just put her up. Shoulda, woulda, coulda at this point. But Rubina is pissed that Leah was apparently laughing and acting like everything was normal after the ceremony. Angela was catching strays here because they don't want her getting to the end. They're saying like she doesn't deserve to be there, blah, blah, blah. And then they're talking about who they want to win. And this is just too much for me because they're talking about how they want someone who played with their heart to win. Rubina says she does not want this season to be in vain. She says we've all played this game so differently than they have in the past. We really have changed the game. Now, out of this season, I feel like the only person who really played like such a different game than what we've seen in a very long time was Tucker. Tucker gave 0 Fs. He did whatever he wanted. And it was really a unique style of gameplay that we haven't seen in a really long time. Everybody else, I mean, some people have made some ballsy moves. Some people have made a lot of really dumb moves, but I wouldn't be saying like everybody in the season like really changed the way the game's played. But Rubina says, maybe you can win being a good person. Maybe it doesn't have to be so backstabby. Maybe you can just play the game and then may the best human win. And T-Core says she loves that. Well, I hate it. I'm sorry, but that line of thinking just is not Big Brother to me. Like, that is just so, like, you have to be this amazing person, like, kind, nice person to win. This is not real life. This is a game. This is not a contest to see who is the nicest person out of the group. It's not RuPaul's Best Friend race, right? It's not a beauty pageant. Also, it kills me because the trio has stabbed people in the back in this game. They are not the good guys that they think they are. I wouldn't classify anyone here as the good guys. Everyone has done their shit in this season. Also, I just feel like from this conversation, Rubina and T-Core, if they're both in the jury, they are going to be terrible jurors because they're just going to like pick whoever, I don't know, smiled at them on stage. I don't know, whoever was the nicest to them. So it's just like a bummer. I'm not for it. Not for that. But anyway, they also complained last night because Leah was setting up some decorations for Chemo's birthday. This was like 4 a.m., by the way. And they're like, that's our friend. We should be the ones setting up the decorations. Then get off your butts and do it. But they didn't want to have to interact with Leah. So they did not help with all that. Okay. I think Leah's doing a nice thing here, but she's not going to be rewarded for it. They're not going to vote for her in the end. But today, it's Chemo's birthday. Happy birthday, Chemo. Yay. It was a slow start to the day. They were all singing songs, making up new songs. It was fun at first, but like I've had it. I've had it with these little ditties they're putting together. But now, this afternoon, things are starting to get a little interesting. We had Rubina and Angela chatting. And Angela's telling Rubina, I'm so sorry that I had to leave you up on the block. I feel really terrible about that. And she says, if Chemo was not up there, I would have used the veto on you. I don't know that that's necessarily true, but it's interesting. So she tells Rubina, I want you to stay this week. So Rubina does some campaigning. Yes, get it, girl. Like, finally. I honestly expected Rubina to just do nothing all week. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry. But I'm excited that she's actually advocating for herself, trying to stay. So it's nice to see. So Rubina says, I have to play my own individual game here. And she brings up T-Core has a very strong social game. It would be impossible to beat her in the end. She's got good vibes with everybody going into that jury house. She also, well, I don't know who brought this up, Angela or Rubina, I don't remember. But they were talking about how T-Core has strong ties on both sides of the house, right? She has her own trio with Rubina and Chemo, but then she also has really good relationships with Chelsea and Cam on the other side. So she's got a lot of people keeping her safe. So Rubina and Angela discuss they want to keep working on Mackenzie to lock in her vote this week because they know she is interested in keeping Rubina. Rubina is also thinking that Chemo would have to be the third vote to keep her this week, but she's not sure she can get Chemo. She feels like Chemo might be voting for T-Core to stay. They don't seem to think that Cam is an option, but like he very much is. Just saying. So Rubina promises she wouldn't put Angela up on the block. She says there are bigger threats now. I don't really believe that Rubina wouldn't put Angela up. I think her target would probably be Leah, but I think she would put Angela up next to Leah. Yeah. So anyway, meanwhile, Cam was chatting with Mackenzie and then Leah about the vote. And Mackenzie and Leah were both putting it out there like maybe T-Core should be the one to go. And Cam seems to be on board with this. He's picking up what they're putting down. He is now feeling like T-Core would put him up if she won HOH. I could see that. I could potentially see that. Leah confirms that T-Core was suggesting that Cam should go up as the renom, which she definitely did. She didn't do much to try and stay off the block, but she did try to suggest Cam as the renom. Cam doesn't like that, right? He's not a fan of that. So Leah also brings up how she did not like how T-Core just seemed fine with cutting Chemo loose this week. She did not fight for him at all. She seemed like more than okay with him potentially going, talking about going to the end with all the girls. And Leah's like, that's messed up. Chemo is supposed to be her number one. Like, why is she so okay with just basically like pushing him out the door? It was pretty wild how she was just ready to do that. Leah is also bringing up concerns that Chelsea is super close with T-Core and Rubina. Oh, snap! Uh-oh. They have both noticed that T-Core and Chelsea have been chatting at night with their mouths covered. What are they trying to hide? And Leah also feels like Chelsea wants other people doing her dirty work. And you know what? She's not wrong. And is Leah realizing, oh, I did do Chelsea's dirty work this week because she did the exact nominations that Chelsea was hoping would play out. Yeah, she's not wrong, right? I mean, Chelsea does want other people to do her dirty work, and Leah did, in fact, do that. So it's interesting that Leah is bringing up these concerns about Chelsea to Cam, and I'm wondering, will Cam relay this to Chelsea, or is he going to keep this in his back pocket? Because he's realizing it's pretty good for him to have this relationship with Leah in the game. She kept him safe this week. They seem to be agreeing on a lot of strategy stuff, so maybe he just kind of keeps that under wraps. I don't know. But Cam says the more he thinks about it, the more he's thinking that T-Core has to go. So Leah lets him know Angela and Mackenzie are also on board for this, so they just got to lock this in. But I don't know that Cam does this without Chelsea's blessing. I don't know that he goes against her this week. I mean, he's already on very thin ice with Chelsea. So I still think that it's possible that Chelsea could be convinced to get rid of T-Core, but I could also see her putting her foot down and then Cam being like, I can't do it. But you never know. Maybe he'll be like, it's time to cut ties and just go for this because he knows that T-Core is not into him going all the way to the end. He knows that T-Core is not for him in this game. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. We still have 2 days until the eviction, so you never know which way things are going to flip or flop over the next few days. But woo, it's getting interesting. It's getting very interesting. So I want to thank all of you for watching today. And I want to thank our super chatter, Jefferson Tucker, stage manager. Thank you so much. As always, Jefferson, you are awesome. And I hope you're enjoying this season. Oh my goodness. Okay. Do we think there's a battle back since we haven't gotten any content of Quinn yet? I don't really think there's going to be a battle back because we only have like 3.5 weeks left. So I feel like it's too little amount of time left, I think. I mean, it's definitely possible, but I don't think they're going to do that. I do think we're going to need to have a double eviction soon, though. We're getting down to it. People are saying they'd love to see T-Core go. I mean, she's definitely feeling pretty comfortable. Her ego is a bit out of control. I would agree, but anyway, let's leave it there. We'll be back tomorrow for another stream and then another episode recap. So thank you all so much for watching. Have a great night. And until next time, much love. Bye.